Hello, my name is Joe Brumfield, Senior Director with ASCD. Our team is dedicated to partnering with you to create custom solutions for all of your professional learning needs. On behalf of your friends here at ASCD, I'd like to welcome you to ASCD Webbies. Our Webbies are short clips created by our faculty members to highlight strategies to help educators deliver virtual instruction. Join us every Friday to learn and share some creative ways to deliver instruction with engaging online tools. Our Webbies will be released every Friday on social media accounts as well as ASCD streaming. Follow the hashtag ASCD Faculty Friday to view our latest releases. Enjoy.
Greetings, colleagues. Today, I want to talk with you about planning for reopening school and how you can integrate staff reflections on lessons learned into any plans you may have. I'm Ann Cunningham Morris, been around for a long time. I've been a teacher leader, school-based administrator, and district level leader. Presently, I'm a consultant. I work with teachers and leaders doing many things to support their professional learning and growth throughout the country and actually internationally as well. So I'm glad to be with you today. I'm also one of the co-authors for the ASCD book, The Principal Influence. This book is really a leadership development toolkit, and it can be used by individuals as they move forward on their leadership journey, or it can certainly be used by districts or schools as part of a leadership development program. The two areas I want to focus on today as we move forward are the importance of kind of recognizing and gathering staff input on lessons learned during the pandemic, and then exploring a tool that we can use as part of our online meetings to gather, share, and collaborate around those lessons learned. So I'm often asked, is it really important, Anne, to think about lessons learned? And my answer is always yes, because the change research tells us that when we don't think about lessons learned from the past, when we just plow forward with planning around big changes, and we don't think about what we've learned in the past that might inform our plans, then we're bound to repeat mistakes that could have been avoided. There are four big areas that we need to think about as leaders when we're moving forward with these big changes ahead for reopening school. So one is reflection and the importance of encouraging our staff to make sure that they're able to think about what lessons they learned about themselves and about others during the pandemic. And then secondly, input, making sure people really feel included on some of the important decisions about the changes ahead. And we can do this by letting them know how the lessons learned will be used. Third, the importance of communication. We want to make sure we have a communication plan as part of our reopening plan. And part of that communication plan has got to be focused on making sure that we're providing folks with as much clarity as possible about the changes ahead, and giving them an opportunity for meaningful dialogue with us as leaders and meaningful dialogue with their colleagues. And this is really important for your staff. And it's important that we communicate with our staff around these lessons learned to inform our planning prior to putting things out to the public. Fourth, we want to focus on maintaining that positive climate and positive culture, and the importance of making sure that you're nurturing your staff's personal well-being and you're helping with group cohesion and collaboration, and that they see that you're empathetic about lessons learned and you're empathetic about what we've all been through together and how we're going to move forward together. So one of the things that I often like to focus on is the three questions we're going to use for lessons learned. And we got to keep it simple. You don't want to make it too tough for people to reflect, and you also don't want to make it too cumbersome. So I like to use 3 questions. What lessons have you learned about yourself as a teacher or leader? What lessons have you learned about our students? And what lessons have you learned about the families that we serve? It's important that we get both the leader perspective and the teacher perspective, because they have different lessons that they've learned that they're going to bring to the table that's going to inform our planning. I like to use Padlet as the data gathering tool for lessons learned, because it's basically just an online bulletin board, or I like to call it a lessons learned wall. Many of your teachers are probably used to using Padlet with their students. It's an excellent tool for online meetings to gather information. You can do it in a variety of ways. You can do a little small meeting where you introduce the lessons learned concept, why you're doing it, what you hope to get from it, how you hope to include lessons learned in your plans for moving forward, and then give them the link to the Padlet, let them do some reflection, and then let them also do their posting, and then bring them back for thinking about and talking about those lessons learned. So I'm going to share a Padlet that I've pulled together using some of the feedback or some of the posts from a couple of the districts that I'm working with around reopening. And you can see it's just simple. You can use different colors because it makes it easier for you to review the information and review the data. But it's just the 3 categories: lessons learned about yourself as a teacher or leader, about our students, and about the families we serve. It's good because once again, you can see that people can comment on the lessons learned. They can like the lessons learned, and that gives you even more information to go on as you move forward. So what do you do once you've got all of this information? What are your your next steps related to moving forward? So you want to make sure that you are thinking about how you're going to review the lessons learned. What are you going to do with them when you pull everything together? How are you going to look at the information that you get? Are you going to look at commonalities? Are you going to look at what some potential obstacles might be for us moving forward that maybe we hadn't thought about based on lessons learned? Are you going to think about opportunities? What are some opportunities that we can capitalize on based on these lessons learned as we reimagine the reopening of school? And then you're going to move forward with integrating those lessons learned. So how do we take those things, whether we're looking at commonalities, obstacles, opportunities, or some combination of the 3, how do we integrate them into our steps for reopening? How do we make it clear that we've integrated them in our steps for reopening, and what fits, what makes sense? And then finally, how do we close that loop? We need to make sure we go back to our staff and close that loop with them so that they, once again, have the information and are clear around how we're going to integrate what they've shared with us into our reopening decisions. As you continue to think about moving forward, it's important for you to use a variety of ways to pull together your teachers, or use the Padlets in a variety of ways. I've seen people use Padlet using them with their PLCs, or they use them with feeder patterns, or they decide to use elementary, middle, high school Padlets. However you decide to pull it together, it's got to be what's best for you, so customize it to you. But it's a really cool tool to help you focus on lessons learned. So hopefully this will be helpful to you, and I'd like to say good luck to you, and you've got this.